I'm Gigi, this is Pikmin 4, and I am a little bit sick. That's fun. It's been a while since I last recorded. Well, I think I was in like the 30s when I was last recording, and then 57 went up today? 58? I think 58 went up today. And since then, I went on vacation and I went to the airport, and upon coming back, I got sick from the airport. So that's fun. But I'm a little bit worried because, 57 is going up today and 61 is the last episode I recorded. So I've only got a few days left to get these last few bonus episodes in. Then I also have to start my next series, and I have to make a thumbnail for that series. But I kind of need to play it a little to get an idea of the thumbnail. So it's a little bit of a mess. So I might be cutting out all the times I'm coughing a bunch. So that's fun. I'm mostly okay now, but I still have this cough that won't go away and a bit of stuffed up nose stuff. But I do what I can. But anyway, I did a lot of side things since the end of the last episode that just weren't all that interesting. So after I came back to the game after completing it and we're still on the surface, the reason the game gave me for that was that we're still on the planet because HQ needs time to prepare for all the castaways that they're about to receive, which is kind of cute. And then I also noticed that we have Louie chilling. Nope, not you, Dingo. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk to you. I have to remember the buttons now because it's been forever since I played. We have Louie chilling here, and he gave me a side quest where I would just go to a bunch of different caves and pick up some enemies for him to make a dinner, which is funny. And once I did all that, he gave me the ability to so if I break this, and then I get off as my captain, then send Ochi over here. No, Ochi. No, I need to remember the buttons. That button to disband. Okay, then I can transport things now, which is very cool. And I also, let's see. This guy who's bloom a bunch of Pikmin flowers, and there's another guy who's plant a bunch of Pikmin. I did what they wanted, and I went through every area and collected all the corpses that had been left behind while I was doing the Louie stuff. And so I have over 100 of each, and then I just went all in on the wings. But it turns out that their quests are infinite. No matter how many times you plant 300 or flower 300 Pikmin or plant 300 Pikmin, they're just no, keep doing it, and it's annoying. And I don't really like that because then you can't actually clear every side quest the game has for you, but it's a way to keep gathering material, I guess. And then what else? The guy who wanted me to get all the musical treasures, let's see, I need to get some Pikmin out to demonstrate this. Come on, reds. Let's see if I remember what the buttons are. Yes, I have the C-stick now, but it's a little weird because it freaks out the camera a little bit, and I kind of don't get how the camera works with it. It's what is it? It's kind of it's going where I'm moving, which is weird, and you're getting this at the end of the game anyway, so I don't know, not a very good power-up since it's so weird with the camera, I think, but it's fine. Then I went and also wrapped up the Piklopedia, and the problem with the Piklopedia, the one thing I was missing was the burgeoning spiderwort, which is why every time I passed one, Colin was it seems to be bearing a red fruit or a red seed or whatever he says. So that's my bad. Game was telling me, hey, do this. Because I had only picked up 5 berries, not all 10, to make a spicy spray. So that's my bad, but whatever. And then, oh yes, I have a list that of things to talk about. I went and got gold for everything, and then the game told me to, after I got gold for everything, it was like, do platinum for everything. So I'll show off my final scores for everything. For Final Battle, the first time that I did this, like in the main story, I barely won. It was by like 10 or 20 points or something. But the second time around, after I had done everything else platinum, I wiped the floor with Louie. It was so good. And let's also show off my times and scores for the Dandori challenges. Yeah, these weren't too bad. There were a few that I had to do a few extra times. But yeah, I don't have to do the Trials of the Sage Leaf again for platinum for anything, which I am relieved about. And then, so before I'm gonna like continue on by reading logs. I probably should have mentioned that at the start of the episode. But there are a few things about the like actual game itself I want to talk about. First, there was a spoiler I got pretty early on, and it was like, oh my god, it wasn't like a spoiler, it was more of just people talking about something that I didn't know what they were talking about. So they were like, oh my god, this is something so intense, like, don't click this spoiler if you don't want to be spoilered, which, like, of course. But, so I thought that was going to be about the final boss, and I was like, oh my god, there's going to be an insane final boss. And that kind of affected my expectations for the final boss in a way, and so I thought it was going to be something way bigger. But then it was apparent, after I finished the game, I went back to, like, read what they were talking about. And it was just, like, the Smoky Prog is a thing, was that whole spoiler. So, like, I kind of got spoiled in a way that wasn't actually a spoiler, and it messed up my expectations. So that's a little unfortunate. Because that kind of left me a little disappointed with the final boss when I thought it was going to be something so mega awesome. But, I mean, it was still a good final boss, and it's just a little unfortunate that my expectations got morphed like that. Then there's also... I also thought, just in general, I feel like the vague spoiler I got didn't affect this much, but I thought there's going to be way more to the story. Like how everyone crashed down onto the planet and Ochi got leafed, and there's weird stuff going on with the Pikmin and leafifying captains and whatnot. But it didn't really seem to come together into anything. I thought there was going to be some like major explanations and all that. And then there was just nothing, which left me a little disappointed. But there is like Louie's actions. I think apparently that does have an explanation. I haven't like confirmed this myself, but I heard that there's an end of day cutscene, I think probably after you rescue Almar, I don't know if after you rescue Louie, where they're like, what is Louie doing? What's his deal? And Almar's like, well, I told him to just like on his first day, I told him to just copy whatever I did, and then I got leafified. So he was copying me when I was a leafling, which is why Louie was trying to leafify the Copiates, which is pretty funny if that's true. I'm just gonna assume that's true, even though I just like read it once somewhere, because I think that's kind of funny. And last but not least, before I start reading the journals, I tightened the screws on my chair so it won't make as much noise. But it's like a really cheap chair, so if I like push down on it or like roll forward a little bit is when it makes noise. It's not really doing it right now though, which is good, but I don't know. So cheap chair, it'll still make noise even though I tighten the screws on it. Whatever, enough talking. Let's get into reading some of these. Rescue journal. Captain's diary. Let's see. Yeah. Something's been on my mind lately. Do my rescue officers have enough responsibility and autonomy? Is there something I should be doing differently? I worry. I can't stop worrying. Am I doing everything I should as their captain? You are, Irma Shepherd. Now that so many castaways have been rescued and cured, now that they shower us with words of gratitude, I finally feel like I'm starting to live up to my father's legacy, to the legacy of all my ancestors. And what a reward that is. I'm finally happy to be me. All of that worrying is in the past. As it fades away, I feel so much lighter. Aw, that's good. The heroic rescue of every last castaway on an unknown planet. Surely tales of this incredible undertaking will be told for all eternity. How can I possibly thank Gigi and Ochi? They should be proud of what they achieved. Aw. We aren't very good at... So, yeah, these have been, like, going back in time with each family history log. So this is from Rose Shepherd, 29th Captain. We aren't very good at reading emotions. Dogs, on the other hand, for some reason they are much better at reading how folks feel and, of course, at getting close to them. I've got this idea that if we have the dogs sniff not just for a castaway smell, but for their emotions, our rescue missions would improve by leaps and bounds. The Shepherd family has lived with dogs from the very beginning. We understand that if we love and respect these creatures as we do our own, if we pay attention and observe their behavior closely, then we can break down the walls between our species and truly understand one another. Cain Shepherd, 16th Captain. Maris Shepherd, 7th Captain. Beyond the sky itself, there lies a beautiful blue planet. Those words have been passed down from captain to captain, calling to each of us. I can't imagine what sort of place this blue planet might be, but it's said to be home to even more dogs and folks than we have here. One day I hope to fly beyond the sky and into space. Mark Shepherd, 2nd Captain. Many years have passed since we first began to make this land our new home. Still, we need more time to complete our environmental adaptations. In the meantime, we must survive so that one day we can pass down this new history to our children, pass down the ways we've learned to rescue and protect everyone. One day we will live here in peace. Arise, Shepherd, 1st Captain. The surface! We made it at last. Finally, we can begin making a fresh start here on this planet. Of course, it will take many long months and years before what we've built here will be anything like what we once had, but we won't be alone. Our beloved dogs will be by our side as we walk this long, difficult road. That's cute. So the people that the rescue corps is from, the people who made the rescue corps, they went to a new planet to colonize it, I guess. And they had their dogs the whole time. Yeah, they had environmental adaptation, so I wonder if they completely terraformed the planet. That's cool. Now I have some new ones with no, that's Louis. We have some new stuff with Almar. Talking a bunch is giving me some violent coughs. Jeez. Let's see, Pikmin all lost. There's some ones later on that I want to read. Come on, Fire Starter Basics, Tug of War, Subterranean Time Warp. Saw that. Water Wraith, all the caves. So after the caves, I think, are the interesting ones. Somewhere. Let's see, a base mystery. I keep coming across ruins of some sort, rings made of stones. I've been using them as a base to land on, and the more I think about it, they seem to be designed exactly for that purpose. Could it be a coincidence? I'd like to know who made them in the first place. This one's weird. That's definitely confirming that someone else has come to the planet before us. And maybe that could be the Sage Leaf before he got turned into a Leafling, because he had a spacesuit on. I was so hungry that I mistook a Pikmin for a Pikmin carrot and almost bit right into it. The Pikmin are friendly to me now, but who knows how long our relationship will last. I quickly apologized to the terrified Pikmin and gave it a hug. Oh. Blossoming memories. This area is blooming with radiant blossoms. I recall how in the spring I would go for a stroll just to enjoy the flowers in my neighborhood on planet Hokotate. Imagining my dog frolicking underneath the falling petals seemed to put my troubled mind at ease. Under a setting sun, I've played catch with my son and comforted my daughter as she fretted over the growing darkness. It's where I first fell in love with my wife's smile long ago. The twilight of this planet brings back distant memories of Hokotate. Bad dreams. Happy holidays. My wife loves my cooking. Whenever I whip something up in an effort to do something special, she asks me, why can't you do this every day, not just for the holidays? I always take it as a compliment. I really miss those days. Simpler times. She's growing up. Though I find myself stranded here, I know my daughter must be getting lovelier by the day. It's a terrible shame that I can't be there to see her grow up. Of course, if I was there now, I'm sure she'd just brush me off and yell, "Go away, Dad." For my son someday. My son constantly picks up bugs and animals, and my wife always scolds him for it. But I'd like him to pursue his interests and treasure his curiosity for living things. If I showed him the notes I've made about the creatures here, I'm sure his eyes would light up. Thank you, Pikmin. It is very strange. The scenery of this planet, which I once found hostile, now sometimes strikes me as surprisingly serene. Perhaps I owe this feeling of peace to the Pikmin and our friendship. Pikmin's purpose? I think we read that. Untitled. I am so very tired. That is weird. This is weird because this is like, that's like the window in the house, but he hasn't gone to the house yet. He is about to go to the house before he does this one. That is bizarre. I don't know what to make of that. Okay. Unknown area, strange Pikmin behavior, an intriguing code, bunker, moss, SOS. I'm supposed to find Almar, boss's orders. I don't really remember what he looks like. Jeez, Louie. I'm not going to do Louie's voice for all of these. These things remind me a lot of Pikmin carrots. I'd eat them, but then who'd carry my snacks? Wish I had a golden Pikmin carrot to eat right now. Got sick of Nana's cookies, so I tried eating some of the creatures around here. They're pretty yummy. Yep, that checks out for Louie. Snacks that grow. If you don't hurry up and eat these, they turn hard in the ground. As soon as I spot one, I dig it up and grill it. The stories Almar told were always boring, but he never got too angry when I messed up, still drawing a blank on his face. Saw something sort of Almar shaped. It was pretty shaggy and seemed happy enough. I'll leave it alone for now. I like to ride that green dog thing it had with it. So Louie was on the planet for a while, I guess. A full report. Mostly been focusing on snacks lately. Guess I'll just make something up when I report to the boss. I wonder if that's like a screenshot from the Pikmin 2 cutscenes, or if that's like a new president model, but just like blurred out. Because it's so blurry, I feel like it's just a screenshot from the Pikmin 2 cutscenes and then kind of edited, which is pretty funny. A green dog thing came up to me. It could be the one I saw with that Almarish creature. Must have been abandoned. Guess I'll keep it. Strange juice. Tried some of that green juice the things by the hearth were drinking. Tastes really yummy. Makes my head and tummy feel all warm and cozy. The things by the hearth were drinking. I wonder what that means. If he's calling the Kopayats things, that's really funny. Or if it's just like some nighttime enemies, like drinking the glow sap from the luminals. Today's snack menu: marinated lipsteak, claw croquettes with cream sauce, roasted leg and miso shells, soy pickled eyeballs. Thinking of Nana. I can pick all the fresh mushrooms I want here. I'll save some for Nana to try once I go home. Ultimate testing range. Let's see, I read these because these are like the cave notes. Huge dog thing. Yeah. Spotted a huge dog thing in the mushroom forest. I like the one I have now, but that one looks more fun. Guess I'll follow it. Dog thing's den. Cavern for a king. Golden Pikmin carrots. My favorite thing in all space to eat, but hard to come by. If I did find some, I'd devour them all to my heart's content. I'm just waiting for the right delivery job. Oh no. So Pikmin 2 theoretically can still happen after this game, but Pikmin 3 can't happen, I don't think. Unless there's just unless Alf and, what's-his-face exist in the same timeline. Let's see. Was that everything then? Missions. Yeah, so I did all the side missions, but these I can't because I keep getting more of them, which sucks. I can't have everything clear. We got all our castaways, all our gear and skills, rescue journal. Check out our story stats. Pikmin lost 322. That's our final Pikmin death count. I don't know if I had any after last episode, but I think it showed my Pikmin death count after I cleared the game, so I guess that'll show. And there's one last thing I forgot to mention. There's the quest for the guy who wanted me to build every construction in the game, like every bridge and every wall, and I had to go back to the doppelganger's den to get the one single one I missed for that reward, which was a whole thing. And that's everything in the game. I know I said I was going to read the treasure catalog and the Piklopedia, but on top of being sick and not knowing when my sinuses are going to clear, there's also 230 catalog entries in the catalog and 125 entries in the Piklopedia, and 3 different speakers in each. You have what is your name? Schnauz, I think, is this guy, and Dalmo for this guy. They all have their own entries, and then there's an Almar entry for everything. I started talking to him and I didn't mean to. And there's a Louis entry for everything, so that's just a lot of reading that I just don't want to do, honestly. So that's the end of Pikmin 4. And I already pretty much gave all my thoughts at the end of last episode and kind of throughout this episode a little bit. So, very good game. I am very glad it's finally a thing after 10 whole years. And next time, we can ditch the jank phone screen recording setup and have actual screen recording with OBS and everything, because the next game will be another little indie game on my laptop, so that'll be nice. And that game is going to contain spiders, oh no, but they're supposed to be cute spiders, I think, because it's a cute indie game, which I apparently like to play a lot of. I do enjoy my cute indie games. So, I'm Gigi, this was Pikmin 4, and I'll see you in a new world.